Well, right, in a game like this, it's always about the secondary. Can they handle the passing attack and make a few plays?
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State. Prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Even though it's the opening drive of the game, he wasn't shy about taking off and running with the football, even knowing the defense is definitely going to take their shots at him. And that's exactly what they did. He better learn to slide, otherwise he won't be around to finish this one.
Fields now to throw. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Their first possession of the game, and they're already going after double coverage.
That's a nice completion that can set the tone for things to come if they're able to keep finding ways to beat what the defense is throwing at them. They look like they're confident that they can get it done.
On the ground, it's the rookie from Wisconsin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. First carry for the Iowa State man, Breece Hall. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Still needing 10 yards. Now it's 3rd down. Now Fields. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And leading him out, the former Jet, playing against his ex-team, the 39th overall pick in 2013, drafted by those Jets, Geno Smith.
Didn't exactly cover himself in glory during his time with the Jets, 11-18 as a starter. Almost wonder if not going in the first round and having to come back that second day of the draft was a precursor about what was going to happen with him with the Jets. Plenty of talent, great mind, a football gym rat, but it never came all together while he was in New York.
And now he's on the other side. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Now the first carry here for the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And it's knocked away and incomplete. Ahmad Gardner bringing the sauce on that breakup.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
So on 4th down, here's A.J. Cole to punt for the Raiders. Great coverage there, holds him to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And the Jets will take over. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their 2nd drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Throwing for the out route, he finds Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. Fields going right back to Wilson. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
And able to find Allen Lazard. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
But certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Malcolm Kuntz in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Back to throw. Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Here's Fields. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one.
Previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Now it's Fields. This will be caught at about the 5. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And they ran just a little underneath route here on 1st and goal, but there's really not a whole lot of room to operate this close to the goal line. He's just not able to get loose after the catch.
To throw is Fields. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap, Fields. Escaping the under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A tough time to take the sack. Now it's 4th and goal, and that's a loss of 6.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. Zerline's kick is if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that. And this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's Smith. Short throw caught. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 yards there, just like last play.
They're making it look easy. First down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And he'll have 3 to the 33.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. From the gun, here's Smith. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now it's Smith off the bootleg. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. 6-0 our score after 1. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. As they come up now, 2nd and goal. Here's a give up the middle. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers from 3 yards out. And the Raiders have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. That time, a 9-play drive. And it was all capped off by Jacoby Myers on the touchdown reception. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Operating from the gun, Fields. He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When you see zone defense and you drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it. How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Now 2nd and 9. Throwing is Smith. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
That's caught by Tucker. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Bert?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield, and then he curls back inside for the completion.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Now Smith. Short throw caught by Bowers. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 3rd catch of this 1st half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a 1st-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. A nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And just shutting him off there. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch and they say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed, and then we got to see it unfold in real time.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
2nd and 9. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw is Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker from 8 yards out. And the Raiders are able to stretch out their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. A 10-play drive that time. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Out of the gun, Fields. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll give to Hall. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
It fights him off. And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is fielded at the 27. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
Now Geno. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, what, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Smith.
Short throw caught by Bowers.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 31-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Throwing again is Smith. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Brock Bowers.
31 yards.
And the Raiders will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And what a weapon he is at the tight end spot, because when they throw him the football downfield, they count on him getting additional yardage almost every time. And that's exactly what he did there. Caught that, ran with it, all the way to the end zone.
Carlson now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. The drive summary that time, 5 plays.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Jets going to take over now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. From the gun, here's Fields.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Fields. He'll get this to Lazard. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Now 2nd and 3.
Here's Smith. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. So the PI decline, and that'll give him a fresh set of downs.
And when you scout tight ends, one thing you want to know, just how strong they are. And we saw it in evidence there. He was able to fight through all the contact and still secure the football.
And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And that will keep this a 15-point game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
A final shot before the break. Fields.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.